Hey guys, so today we're going to be breaking down Merged Zamasu's Zenkai, the purple one. We have the information in-game here. Unfortunately, DBZ Space is not updated yet, so we're just going to go ahead and do this in-game. There's also a few pieces of equipment we have to take a look at, and then there's some events coming out as well, which I'll briefly discuss here, but this is probably what everyone's most interested in looking at, so let's go ahead and just go jump right into this. So, his stats, not bad at all. Obviously, this guy's not that old. This might be the most recent character we've gotten a Zenkai for, I think, this Fusion Zamasu. I saw a lot of people very surprised that this guy was getting a Zenkai, which, I mean, it kind of is surprising because he's not that old and he's not that bad, right? The thing I was confused on was people were thinking this guy was going to be, like, broken or something, where you guys have to understand that whether or not they Zenkai a character like this, or a character like Blue Pan, like literally one of the first characters to release in the game, they're gonna make them the same power level regardless of when they released, right? It's not like because this guy came out later, he's gonna be better than every other Zenkai. That's not how that works. They try to normalize the power levels of every character when they Zenkai, regardless of when they came out. So I don't really expect this guy to be overly overpowered just because of that he came out later, right? But his stats here are definitely not bad at all. I mean, these are actual, like, modern stats, so we'll see what they do here. Let's go ahead and click the button, and we can go to fully soul boosted Zenkai 7. That's a lot of defense. Okay. Actually, those stats are pretty good. No big complaints from me about those whatsoever. 282,000 blast tags is very good. I mean, these are pretty much what I would expect to see from a Zenkai, modern Zenkai, right? These stats are good. So, no complaints there at all. So I have the kit pulled up on DBZ Space in a separate window just so I can compare and see what they changed. So the main ability, he draws the ultimate card, Lightning of Absolution. He heals by 20% and restores ki by 50. So that used to be 40 ki, so it goes up to 50, so it gets 10 more ki. Applies attribute upgrade minus 100% to enemy sustained damage cut effects to self for 15 counts. So literally the only thing that changed about this was the fact that he gained an extra 10 ki. And that's it. So, I mean, this really didn't need to be changed that much, I don't think. This is already like a decent main ability, so I don't really have that many complaints about that. His Zenkai ability, he buffs purple God Ki, which is fine. I mean, the two options were going to be God Ki or Future, right? I think is what the two options were going to be. I don't really think he was ever going to buff Regen, because he doesn't even buff Regen with his Z ability. I guess also he could have buffed Powerful Opponent. That's another option, right? Purple Powerful Opponent, but we already have, what, two of those? Two Purple Powerful Opponent buffs, so I think I'm okay with him buffing Purple God Ki. No complaints there for me. Alright, first unique ability is Eternal Radiance. Applies the following effects itself according to the number of timer counts elapsed from battle start. So we got 40% damage inflicted cannot be cancelled 15 counts. That's the same. 30 counts elapsed increases arch card draw speed by 1 level. Cannot be cancelled. That is also the same. And then this last one used to be 50 counts. Now it is 45. He gets -5 to all arts costs. Okay, so that's 5 less counts to get the cost reduction. Okay, not that crazy, but it's fine. And then he gets 30% of blast damage inflicted against all characters except except Zamasu or Goku Black. Interesting. That is the same. Yeah, that did not change either. So, again, the only thing that changed about this was the fact that he is losing, or I guess he's going to have an easier time to activate that last section. So instead of 50 counts, it's going to be 45. So that's a very, very minor improvement there. Alright, second unique ability is Almighty Immortal Fusion. Applies the following effects to self after enemy attack is over. He gradually restores health each timer count for 30 counts, and then he gets 20% of damage inflicted up to 80%. Those are both unchanged from pre-Zenkai. So now he also reduces damage received by 45% until combo ends when changing cover. That used to be 40%, so he's getting an extra 5% cut on that, which is fine. And then he has a knockback against strike guards, which you can combo into his blue card. So, again, the only thing that changed about this was that he gets an extra 5% damage reduction on his cover change. So, really, up until this point, this entire, like, from the top here all the way down, all the way to here, is literally, like, very, very minor changes. So, most of what we're going to see from this guy is going to be in these two unique abilities and the stats. So, alright, let's check this. So, this is his first Zenkai unique ability here that he's gaining. So he gets 40% to own ki recovery for 10 timer counts when this character enters the battlefield. That's actually not bad. I think ki recovery is one of the more underrated stats in the game. still to this day. 30% chance to inflict bleed when this character lands a strike or blast arts hit. Okay, I don't really think that's too crazy. And then he gets a 30% chance to inflict bleed when this character lands a strike or blast arts hit if a tag future or tag god key other than this character is a battle member. So what, he has 2 separate chances to inflict bleed? Okay, so is it a... Actually, no, I think the way it works is because he has a 30% innate chance to do it, and then if you fulfill that second condition, he's going to be getting a 60% chance because it says plus 30%. So I assume if you're running this guy on future or god key, which you pretty much have to, then he's going to have a 60% chance to inflict bleed when you land a strike or a blast arts hit, which could be good. The only like really I don't know, like, what are you going to run this guy with, like, Zenkai Demon King Piccolo and, like, a future God Key member? Like, it could happen on powerful opponent, but it's just a very niche situation. I mean, this is kind of like what I would have expected from one of these Zenkai abilities, not like, or one of these Zenkai unique abilities. It's not crazy. And then the last one is All Hail Zamasu. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. He gets 20% to strike damage inflicted for 10 counts, nullifies own abnormal conditions for 10 timer count, then inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade, minus 50% to key recovery for 15 counts. That's actually really annoying. The minus 50% to key recovery, because remember, you're going to be cover changing with this character, right? If you want to try and maybe get this special cover change off, or just to eat damage, right? Because remember, he gets 45% damage reduction. So the minus key recovery is actually pretty annoying. The strike damage, I don't really think is going to be that big of make that big of a difference. I mean, it's only for 10 counts too. Nullifying abnormal conditions is okay. It's not crazy. So overall, I would say that they really gave him like super minor buffs here. But again, the stats I think are probably good enough to where he doesn't really need anything too major. All right, and then we go to the actual cards. He already had the health restoration up effect on here, so that's not going to change. The blue card is massive explode damage, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 20% strike arts for 20. That's literally the same. It did not change at all. So, okay. And then we go to the green card, which reduces enemy key by 40, randomly applies 2 of the following effects to self. Either he gets 40 key, 20% blast damage for 20 counts, or that is also the same. Okay. And his ultimate is Lightning of Absolution. Deals massive impact damage, applies the following effects to self according to the number of enemy battle members upon activation. 30, 50, 70. That is also the same. Okay, so literally none of these things changed at all. Okay, well, very, like, super minimal changes to this character. But again, not really a character that needed that many upgrades, I don't think. His stats getting higher, or as high as they do from the Zenkai, probably are good enough to make him relevant anyway. But we'll see. Again, nothing too crazy in terms of what they gave him here, so we'll see how he performs in the game. In terms of the equipment, there's a few new pieces of equipment. Let's go to the archive here. There's actually a new... this is new as well. Let's check this first. This is Movies and Saiyan. What is this from? This is from PvP season. So it's base, critical, strike attack, and then strike attack and health restoration. I wouldn't really call that crazy. It's interesting for the cooler movie Goku because it has critical on it, I guess. And you could use it on the Super Saiyan team or something. I don't really know how good this will be. I'm not really too excited about this one, but it could be okay. What else we got? Stuff that I don't have. I know there's a new... This one is new. What is this? Sagas from the movie Regen. I don't know how to get this one. So up to 13% health restoration, 18% to strike attack, and then just base damage 2 sagas from the movies. This is interesting equipment. It's pretty specific though. It's regen and movies characters. So like Janemba, who else is on there? Like who else fulfills that? Janemba, like Slug. I don't know. let me actually pull up the. Let me pull up the regen tag real quick. Who else is on the movies? I mean, the Piccolo that just came out, right? The red Piccolo from the Cooler movie. He's on there. Like I mentioned, the Janembas already. Slug I mentioned. That's really it, I think. I don't know anyone else that's on there. So it's going to be very limited in terms of who this is usable on, but it seems pretty decent. I'll take this. And then I know there was a unique equipment. Yeah, this one right here. So this is Me, the Invincible, Almighty, and Divine. This is for Future Trunks Saga only. So this is blast defense and strike defense, so 20 and 30% respectively. And then it's health and health restoration up to 10%. This equipment is pretty ridiculous. I'm just going to say this equipment is pretty ridiculous. In terms of who I would give this to, honestly, I probably would give this to the Zenkai Zamasu if I had it. I definitely would give this to Future Gohan. Oh no, sorry, Future Gohan's not even on this team. Never mind. Revival Goku, I guess, if you ever use him still, would get this. It's tough because there's not many defensive units that are on this team, right, that would use this. Honestly, this equipment might be good enough to give to every single unit on this team. Like if you're running a future team, and if you're running like Vegito Blue, the purple one, sorry, the purple Vegito Blue, you're running, I don't know, the blue Zenkai Trunks and stuff like that. Like I feel like this is a decent equipment just to put on anyone. It's pretty decent. It's you know, it's just always going to be solid. Health restoration, you get base health and both defenses. Like this is a good equipment. So I assume you're going to be able to get this through, what is this? The equipment, this should be the equipment collection event or whatever. Same way we got the Gogeta equipment. They've been pumping out a lot of unique equipments recently, so yeah, it's a lot of, it's a lot of erasers that we need. And there's a reason why they put out those eraser sales in the weekend, right? And then the last thing just to mention is there is going to be a raid against Cooler this weekend, obviously to correspond with the All-Star banner that released the Cooler movie Goku and Piccolo. Looks like Legends Pass is also coming out during this update because there's data mines of like the actual sale being in the game for it. So I'm actually going to do a separate video breaking down Legends Pass like just on its own, and I'm going to do a, you know, should you purchase this or should you not purchase this, or is it worth purchasing, right? We're going to be able to finally take a look at what those tickets are for the pass that you get from the robot or whatever, and I feel like that's going to make or break whether or not it's going to be worth getting or not. So there's that, and then I think that's it. I think in terms of the update that we're getting to, that's pretty much everything. It's, again, the World Challenge raid, there's the Gauntlet vs. Zamasu, which is how you get this guy Zenkai if you don't want to summon the banner. There's Legends Pass coming out, I think. And then there's also this other banner, which is just limited to people who are just starting the game, called the Start Dash. It's a Legends Limited character guaranteed summon, but it's not really going to pertain to anyone watching this video unless you are starting the game fresh, because it's only available for 168 hours after starting the game. So I'm not really going to go into too much detail about that banner, but that is it. Let me know what you guys think about this Merged Zamasu Zenkai. Again, not really like blown away by what he's getting here, but I think his stats should be good enough to allow him to be at least competitive with a lot of the top teams, but we'll see. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.